welcome to another episode of Shut It. A quick podcast. This is going to be a quick one. This is a quick Shut It brought to you by myself, Jen Kirwin. How you doing? It's been a funny week, hasn't it? It's been kind of weird. Lots been going on with me, and I'm sure lots been going on with you. And poor Joey Biden. What's going on? He lost a lot of things. He forgot some stuff in his houses in Delaware and Washington and wherever else he has houses. Poor guy, like classified information. That's not good. I mean, we were okay with Trump, not okay, but some people were like, no, you can't. And they raided his place. I don't want to get it. First off, I'm not a political comic. Okay. But, I don't know. He's been in government for I'm going to say probably 3 decades, at least probably 4 decades. So I'm sure there's a few papers here and there. Somewhere, maybe, they found his dentures. Ha! That's ageist, Jen. Shut it. All right. What's going on? Oh, with George Santos, that guy. George Santos is a pathological liar. Hey, here's the thing about George. Am I shocked? No. A politician's lying? Really? I think it's fine. I think actually George he's having fun with it. At least he's having fun with it. Do you know what I mean? He's having a ball. He's just like, fuck it. I'm not going to say to my constituents, yes, I will make sure you have social, free healthcare for all and unionize and high wages and we're going to clean up the streets and make sure that your kids are safe. No, that's not it. He's going to talk about his grandmother in Auschwitz that didn't exist and how his mom died in 9/11 when she was in Brazil. You know what I'm saying? He's having fun. He's a fun liar. He's embellishing so much. It's kind of a relief because it's like, they're all liars. Pretty much every single one. But at least he's just going the full mile, the full 10 yards, the full Monty. I don't even know what that means. I don't play cards, but he's doing it. He's doing it. And I'm proud of him. I'm not proud of him. But, I'm like, you know what? Good. Let's hear some more stories because I think we all need stories. I think today, in this day and age, we all need to share our stories, even if they're fabricated, even if they're 100% full of shit. He is a piece of shit who basically lies all the time. And he's really good at it. Well, no, he's not because he didn't even try to backtrack or say, oh, but I meant she died of natural causes because she was sad about 9/11. I don't know. But who knows what's going to happen to George Soros? Maybe George Soros, sorry, George Santos. George Soros, that's a whole other story. But I'm not going to get into George Soros. I do have a funny story about George Soros, actually. This is actually true. Back in the day when I used to cater waiter, I used to go to these fancy private events. And George Soros, this was before he was the go-to guy responsible for all the conspiracy theories. This is way before that. This is actually right after 9/11, full circle. True story. It's just me and a few other, a very select few other cater waiters. And we had to get background checked and all that stuff. And so we're at George Soros's house in Manhattan. It's this beautiful brownstone. It's like a house, it's that Jeffrey Epstein house you see. They always he owns $100 million mansion. Well, that was George Soros's, but not as big, but it's very, very fancy, really nice, really tasteful and gorgeous. I can't remember if it was on the west side of the Central Park or the east side of Central. I think I'm going to say west. It was so long. It was right after 9/11. And so I was cater waiting and there's George. I didn't know who the fuck he was. I'm just some dumb aspiring comic, right? And I'm there with my little suit jacket and pressed shirt and tie and there's So they have these tables in the middle of the living room, like set up makeshift dining room tables with, catering napkins, and it's all ready to go. And he's got nameplates on each table. And so I'm sitting there shining the silverware or whatever. And he comes over to me and he says, he's looking down at one of the place cards. That's what it's called, and not a name tag. It's a place card, one of the tables. And he goes, asks me, who is this Caroline Kennedy? And I said, sir, that is John F. Kennedy's daughter, the former president, John F. Kennedy. And he goes, oh, that's right. Okay, thank you. And I was sitting there. I'm like, oh my God. And he was old back then. So I thought, man, this guy's got Alzheimer's. This guy's like on his way out. But then I got back home and my husband, we were dating at the time. He goes, I think he was fucking with you. I think he was just checking you just to make sure. I don't know. He was testing you. Anyway, that's my George Soros story. And there you have it. But in other news, George Santos, he's a great liar. I'm a big fan. I mean, I'm not a big fan of George Santos. But George Soros, I don't know. I mean, my sister Peggy will tell me that he's the Antichrist. So, but she thinks everybody's a clone. So I don't know. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research at my university, on YouTube University. I'm going to have to go and do my own research on YouTube and find out the truth about what's really going on with George Soros. Do you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Anyway, it's really cold here. I had to walk the dog again today in the bitter, bitter cold, and I made my teenager walk with me. It was actually quite nice, aside from the cold. But yeah, it was great. So that's the report. And I don't know if you know this, but my dog, Cho, we live on the border. We're on the French side. We live on the border of Switzerland, literally just steps away from our apartment. And our dog only poops in Switzerland. That's right. Fun fact, Cho only poops in Switzerland. He refuses to poop in France because he's kind of a posh dog. And there you have it. So what's happening else in the world? I guess there's a big deal going on in the U.S. with eggs. And apparently people are crossing the border of Mexico and smuggling in cheaper eggs. That's the state of the world today. We won't let you in, but we'll take your eggs. We will take your chicken eggs. We'll take any eggs. I don't know. I don't know if you remember. I'm sure it didn't hit national news, but in these parts of the world, of Europe, for a few months there was a scarcity, like a depletion of all Dijon mustard. It's Dijon mustard, if you don't know, it's like the hot mustard. It's like the staple of every meal in France, in Italy, well, maybe not Italy, in Switzerland. You have hot mustard with chicken, you put it on everything. It says like it's like the ketchup of France. Dijon mustard goes with everything. And we didn't have it for months. For months. And you know what I did? I didn't smuggle in mustard from fucking Lithuania. I just did without. I just didn't have mustard for a while and it was fine. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just have to, like, there are times when you have the absence of something that makes you feel appreciation for it more. And so I changed to hot English mustard, which I'm not going to poo-poo on the English mustard, but it's not the same. Like once you go Dijon, you can't really switch. It's like the Vegemite, Marmite people. It's like you have a team and that's it. So I did without. And I don't know. I think Americans, you can do without eggs for a little bit. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to go and smuggle eggs from Mexico. Let them have their own eggs. Or why don't you just raise your own chickens? Raise them in the back. Oh my God, I would love to raise my own chickens, but I live in an apartment. I could probably put them on the terrace, but Although my neighbor across the street has a house and they had, they had chickens for a while. And every morning at like 5 a.m., I could hear them. And I called the cops. No, I didn't. But then they got rid of them because it was so annoying. So if you're going to have chickens, I would suggest having it outside the city limits, preferably in a space where you have no neighbors, so they won't throw eggs at you, or they can't throw eggs at you, actually, because, well, they could steal your eggs and throw them at you. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's go back to topical news. What happened with Kanye? He got married. Good for you, Kanye. I'm happy. I'm happy that you're happy. And he seems happy. I don't know. He hasn't really given too many interviews, but the fact that he like did all this and didn't blab his mouth about it is a great thing. That means he's serious. He didn't go blah, blah. I'm getting married, Kim. I'm getting married. Apparently, I don't know anything about her, but she's Australian and she looks like she could be Kim Kardashian's clone, but like a younger Kim Kardashian. I don't know. And then there was something going on. I don't really follow this kind of stuff, but then I was thinking like Britney Spears just got married, right? And then she got out of this conservatorship thing, like her dad taking control of all of her money, and now she got remarried, and now that guy left her. And they were saying that like he's her handler or whatever. And I'm thinking maybe this new wife of Kanye's is like an undercover handler. You know how all these stars have handlers, apparently? Peggy tells me, my sister tells me that they all have handlers, all of them. And apparently Britney's ex, or the guy who just left her, was her handler. Like an undercover, like, I love you, baby. But actually he's just like, I'm going to make sure she doesn't spend all your money, Dad, okay? Something like that. Or record company. Or he's working for somebody. So maybe this woman who married Kanye is a secret spy handler. You know? Think about it. Anyway, I think I'd love to have a handler. Think about that. Like, you wouldn't have to make any choices. You're like, oh, what are we doing? Oh, we're going to Bali. Yep, we got a photo shoot in Bali, and then after that, we have to go to the gala, the Met Gala. Here's the dress. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I don't like making decisions. I dream. I could have a handler one day. That would be awesome. People just telling you what to do, where to go. I wouldn't want them stealing my money, though. That would be annoying. I would be like, you know what? You can handle me, but show me the receipts. I need the bank statements. Don't, anyway. What was I talking about? I was talking about something and I can't remember. And, I was talking about George Santos, not George Soros. And I remember last week I had explained to you guys, oh God, my hair. I explained to you. So my daughter told me, teenager, Gen Z, whenever I do this, have my hair on the side, she goes, that is like the dorkiest hairstyle. I go, but that's just a part. And she goes, no, Mom, it has to be in the middle, because on the side, it's too cringy. So there you go. Fun fact. I don't know. A lot of people don't know these things. I am privy to all the new things from Gen Z. And there you have it. So I was going on about George Santos. And basically this guy and Kanye. Okay. So what I did is I remember telling you last week that I was going to do an chat GPT joke, a generated joke. But apparently chat GPT is like full. Like I just tried earlier today. I couldn't sign up. They wouldn't let you. They're like, check back with us, because I think everybody is doing chat GPT. So I did Inc., one of their competitors, and I said, I just write a joke about, hold on, I'm going to bring it up. George Soros, not George, what the fuck? Sorry. Write a joke about George Santos and Kanye West. And that's all I put. They don't know me. I didn't even give them my email. And so this Ink app, this AI Ink app, the competitor to ChatGPT, this is the first joke. They gave me 3 jokes within seconds. George, ready? Are you ready? George Santos and Kanye West were out for a walk one day when they saw an old lady struggling with her groceries. Let me do my George impersonation. Let me help you, said George, gallantly picking up the bags. But Kanye quickly interjected, saying, au contraire. Oh, they use the same word in the second joke. That's a big word for AI, I guess. Au contraire, mon ami. Throwing a little French in there. I'm more than happy to chivalrously assist this gracious woman. The two then proceeded to squabble over who would help the matronly figure until she muttered, cease your palvering. I can manage on my own, just fine. Womp, womp, womp. I had to stop that because these are just the worst jokes. I just redid it again. I put it back in. I gotta tell you, whoever AI, you're fired. First off, the key to any joke writing is brevity, right? Less is way more funnier than more. I mean, unless you're like a storyteller. This is like the fucking Garrison Keillor of fucking AI. What is going on? All right, let's try another one. Okay, ready? When George Santos and Kanye West got together to create a new album, it was truly eclectic. It was truly an eclectic mix of genres! ! Despite their different styles, the project was full of pizzazz and sure to be a huge hit. After all, who doesn't want to hear 2 music titans blend bespoke beats with each other? And that's it. That's all they have. That's the joke. You guys, we're going to be all right, comics. Journalists, not so much, but comics, I think we're going to be okay for now. All right, last one. George Santos and Kanye West were both known for their larger-than-life personalities. All right, that's correct. George, who was notorious for his no-nonsense attitude and forthrightness, once quipped to the rap mogul, "Aye, man, don't you think it's about time you pulled yourself together?" I could see George Santos saying that to Kanye. "Aye, man, don't you think it's time to pull yourself together? You're acting so inelegantly." Kanye replied with a guffaw, "I'ma keep being me, just more stylishly." That's a true AI generator. I think that's the best one. I think we could all agree that that last one, pretty good. But I mean, not funny. None of them were funny. Not one. But, it's AI. It's in the baby infancy for joke writing. So there you have it. And it's, what's going to happen with the world of joke writing, journalism. I talked about this before. It's probably over. I mean, not now, but in a few more years. I mean, not joke writing, but journalism, colleges, universities, any sort of like dissertation. You can just plagiarize everything. Anyway, I'm not going to go off on that again, but I just wanted to say that this is the future. This is the future. The future is AI. And maybe we could do like, I don't know, some 3D AI egg machine. Okay. All right. I'm done with this is my last AI. This is my last AI generated joke. All right. My dog is getting a little antsy. I got to feed him. But here's my last AI joke. And I just put in, you want to get up here, Chucho? Come on. Good. Come on. There he is. There you go. Say hello. Say hello. Say hi. Say hi to everybody. Anyway, so I put in, tell a joke about George Soros, the Hungarian philanthropist, billionaire, hedge fund. I don't know how he made his money, but he made it a lot. Because he has a beautiful house and probably all over the world, lots of houses. And this is what they came up with. All right, before I tell them my closer, this is my AI closer. I just want to let you know that not AI, but I will be performing this Thursday, my hour show at Flanagan's in Old Town, Geneva. It's an amazing show. You can check it out on my website. You get tickets. It's going to be great. I have some great guests coming along who are gonna do a little time up front, and then I'm gonna do my hour. And Flanagan's is a new venue. It's a theater downstairs. It's called Downstairs at Flanagan's, with a nice theater. I think it holds like 100, 150. I'm not sure, but it's going to be amazing. And I think you should definitely come out and see the show if you're in Geneva, Switzerland. And if you're not, then you should tell your friends, all those friends of yours who live in Geneva, Switzerland, to come and see my show this Thursday, the 26th at 8 p.m. All right, now let's do our closer. Are you ready? Are you ready, Chicho? You ready? All right. This is a joke show. It's about George Soros from AI. Okay. A weary-looking George Soros trudged into the tavern, only to be greeted with curious glares. He ordered an unassuming lager and asked the barkeep if anyone had heard his name before. When the server replied in the negative, Soros smiled ruefully and quipped, "I guess I'm not as notorious as I thought." Just like Carolyn Kennedy. See that? Full circle. He didn't know who Carolyn Kennedy is, and the barkeep didn't know who George Soros was. So there you go.